I ain't like what you tweeted about me that time.
Here we go.
Yo, why you press everybody? Why you trying to press everybody to come up here?
He ain't pressing. What's up? What he said? What I
I
said?
ain't like that tweet you wrote about me, man. I don't know why you did it. I was mad, but I got over it. But I ain't like that, Zai.
Because what you gonna do?
What did I say? What was the tweet?
What you said? What?
What you gonna do?
Me and you been cool. I don't watch football, but I show you the respect, and you just.
You felt like that was disrespectful?
Yeah, hell yeah.
How you figure that? I didn't leave you off the interview. I hear what you're saying, E. I didn't, again, me and Flip, we been cool, you know what I'm saying? Respect has been mutual on both sides, correct?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It is never no ill will. I felt like because we cool, we could joke like that, you feel me? I'm not disrespecting you. A, I don't make the lineup. B, I really was more of a nod that like, y'all got a lot of combinations going on up here. I ain't gonna lie, when you first got on the JBP, it was different for me. I'm like, I enjoyed the pocket that the JBP was at the time. So when you first got on, it was.
I've completely forgotten about this fight. I didn't remember, and a special thanks to Flip for confronting him about it. I didn't agree with what you stated. When Zaire tweeted that tweet, he already knew he was going to 520, so I'm surprised it's been so long before he appeared on the show. And I'm not sure if that was 2 or 4 months ago. Time is passing quickly. It's amusing that Zaire brought up all of this before Flip got into a fight with Mona and before Flip was demoted. But early on, Joe began demonstrating Flip, you shouldn't be there for the interviews, in my opinion. I'm scheduling Sasha here for any other interviews. But the only reason you're here now, and I brought Zaire up here, is because it's your day. I'm going to remove the paint for you. Mona will be with me. As calm as she is, Mona has done a lot of interviews, thus I would prefer to have her during one than you. Please refrain from referring to me as a white girl. I'm not saying Flip doesn't, but the way you act in these interviews is so different from how she acts. You all pod the same, too. That says something then. However, the fact that Zaire called out what had occurred to Flip is extremely telling. And the moment Zaire called Flip out for this first is what's on my mind the most. Flip had no one's back. On Flip, everyone was making jokes. It was a joke. However, no one spoke up for Flip, stating, yeah, I thought it was foul that you weren't here in the interview either. Is it inappropriate for Zaire to criticize Flip? Or did he simply express the opinions of everyone in the room and up there? And now, since it appears that Parks has been on a high horse lately, I'm listening to what he says to Flip. And I do not doubt that at some point in the near future, I will dedicate a film to him. But when Flip was recounting what transpired during the meeting with him, Joe, and Ian, he didn't like that story at all, especially since Joe called Ian even though it was a meeting between Joe and Flip. He required HR assistance. That HR representative was essential. But Parks was quick to correct Flip when he was narrating the story because he thought a lot of what he was doing was humorous even though it wasn't. Hey, why are you treating Ian disrespectfully? This is basically the result of all the questions he was posing to him. He's calling Flip out for Zaire then. I mean, what are you going to do about it? This Park is talking really spicy, I swear. Unfortunately, though, it's justified for you, Flip. It is justified. You've exhausted your welcome. It has been months since we last saw Zaire on this show. Months from now. However, he does return in one episode. To suffer this, you must be present. We are aware of who you are. Of course, you will ask him. There isn't much bravado in it. You still asked him. But Joe is also aware of Zaire's identity. He will inform you. You have a gripe with the wrong person, which is why I didn't exclude you from the lineup. And I was right to say what I said, given what you're going through right now, and Zaire spared him here. The individuals you think are cool with you are attempting to put you in your proper position. They are attempting to denigrate you. And even if that's already happening, I am aware that we shouldn't use that word, because if you say it to Flip, he will become aggressive. I was not in the lineup. Even worse, you were demoted. It would be one thing to be demoted in a way that said, hey, you can't be here. You were replaced by the newcomer, but I'm going to give you a day off every week. God damn, how does she have this much pull, is how I would look at Mona if I were flipping. Because I'm sure we'll all agree that it's because she's a new employee and Joe is making an effort to get to know her so that her transition will go more smoothly. However, I don't believe that at all. Since Flip and Mark have become involved, I firmly believe that Joe is demonstrating to Flip that she does have greater power over you in this situation. However,
you don't see Joe separating Flip and Mark. Given how serious this problem is with Mona and Flip, I'm sure there will be repercussions for months to come, because, I imagine, it happened during their first get-together, which is awful. Flip looks awful in that outfit. Zaire did in fact have a purpose for telling you this. Zaire made predictions, or worse, he was speaking about everyone's feelings in the room once more. However, I will continue to return to this. Why does Joe keep Flip there if he is so aggressive and awful and no one wants him? Why is Ian still there if he would be red-faced when he speaks to Flip because he doesn't like them and he knows he doesn't respect him? Additionally, nothing will change unless Joe explicitly explains to Flip why he is still there to settle down, as Flip stated this, and no one had to respond. To be honest, they will become enraged. Ish brought it up the last time Flip mentioned it, so I know he's upset. Yes, I was demoted, but my salary hasn't changed. Flip, I'll explain why. Because you're going if your compensation changes. And once more, if everyone wanted Flip to leave, why wouldn't it be beneficial for the JBP? However, Joe doesn't want that, which is why he keeps meeting with Flip, and he will keep doing so. By making Flip appear like a jester and making everyone laugh at him rather than with him, he's attempting to punish Flip. He's attempting to humiliate Flip into departing. Why should I leave? Like Melissa, I was able to resolve this. I don't have to give this my all as long as I'm here. And whether you want to acknowledge it or not, your numbers are better when my demo arrives. Joe is the only one with the analytics to know what every show does, so I'm sure he's aware of this. To be clear, having the visual animations or emotes that Flip performs is one thing. However, when Flip speaks, you can also hear the intensity in his voice. For this reason, Flip's absence from these pods is even more detrimental. Joe is attempting to punish Flip, and he's attempting to punish Joe. But neither one of them will break their bonds. Why is that? However, Zaire deserves praise for occupying his square. Thank you to Flip for even bringing the subject up in the first place. And Flip, you're already racist toward Ian, and you see it. However, you must exhibit the same racism toward Parks, because he dislikes you. Unfortunately for you, if Parks doesn't like you enough, he has the authority at the JBP to take action. Parks is talking to you like a crazy person. He is. And additionally, he wants you to take action. However, unfortunately, Parks remains white at the end of the day. He won't retaliate against you. He'll just go to the higher authority. No one has gotten involved with Parks, therefore he must leave. Therefore, it's a wrap, Flip, if you cross that line. He will walk the dog slowly. He's drawing you in. Be mindful of it. You are the only one that watches the playbacks besides Joe, so I know you do. I might give him financial credit. However, just the three of you were watching the playbacks outdoors. To be clear, Flip, Joe is the only one who wants you up there, so pay attention to how Park speaks to you and to everyone else. Therefore, you must resolve that before everyone turns against you. Sadly, Joe has already been put in the middle of an ultimatum between Melissa and you. Don't force Joe to make another decision. If they are astute, they will stage a coup, with one of them approaching Joe and Ian and declaring it's either Flip or me solely to get you out of there. 3 strikes are involved. You're out, friend. However, please share your thoughts in the comments section. Man, this is getting insane. I don't understand why there is never a day of calm when Flip is up there. There isn't a day of calm, even if you should all be up there enjoying some bread. Nevertheless, if you enjoyed the video, please do so. If you haven't already, subscribe to the page. You already know how awesome we are if you have. Naturally, as usual, please visit the Patreon. It's emerging. I won't even be able to hold you all. Over there, it's poppin'. To offer you all some extra inspiration, I also gave the patrons a sneak peek at what I'm taking home from YouTube this month. Although we don't have nearly 10,000 subscribers, I'm confident that we earn as much as many of these larger YouTubers. Sufficient to support myself, yet I'm not doing so. In any case, please subscribe to the Patreon. Go check it out, everyone. There, it's popping. However, I'll see you guys on YouTube a little later today. Be careful out here, everyone. Tranquility.